Bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Welcome, everyone. Let's begin. With gratitude and with subtle awareness, let's bring our attention to our breath. Breath is our constant companion as long as we're alive. And it's an important companion for awakening our sense of spirit, the conscious we are of breath. The more the soul grows, the more the soul awakens. And with every cycle of breath, there is an emptying, a clearing, and also an awakening, a coming into presence. So allow yourself to empty with every exhalation and to awaken in receptivity to the divine presence with every inhalation. Stream of thought takes you away. Gently bring your attention back. This and now with the inhalation, Ya, and the exhalation, Hu, the pronoun of divine presence. Breathing in Ya, exhaling Hu silently. And this who ground of being from which your individualized consciousness is born and to which you will return. Ooh. Allahu. And gratitude is the companion of awareness in this case. Breath with subtle awareness and with gratitude, so that we receive from the breath a subtle energy, a blessing, the barakah of breath. Yahoo. And be at ease in this breath. Yes, we need a vigilant attention, attention without tension. Be at ease. You're welcomed, you're loved, you're accepted. Join our voices with the sound of Hu. Bismillah. Hu. And now continue silently with Hu on the out breath. Amen. Amen. Welcome, dear. The theme this morning that I'm going to share is the mingling of pain and aspiration. The more we develop spiritually, the more sensitive we become And pain is something interesting. Pain of any physical, emotional. We can see it, we can learn to see it as a reminder of our need, divine friend. Without some pain, would we turn in direction, or would we continue in our often complacent state or our numb state? Pain is what brought many people to the spiritual path. Pain of living, distress, disturbance, even trauma. And all these awaken us from complacency and numbness. And there's always in this world happiness and distress, certainty, illness, injustice. And I'm speaking from myself, and sometimes in the morning, as I'm waking up, I can feel a kind of pain that I can't necessarily identify as my own. Maybe it's the pain of the world, maybe it's something deeper within myself. I'll keep looking. But how do we deal with this? How do we cope with it? Camille, can I have the weird?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not the phrases.
No, I'm looking for, probably can find it easily. I had it marked in my copy, but then I didn't bring it here. All right. I love the weird increasingly. Maybe I'm even coming to it late. Bill's always been with it, but appreciating it lately for the intimacy of the call we hear. Here's the selections, page 51 in this book. Oh my God, I have reached the morning in a state in which I cannot move from myself the things that I dislike, and I cannot achieve that to which I aspire. These matters are not in my hands, but in yours. I have become bound by my deeds. And there is none poorer than I am among your servants needing mercy. Oh God, make my enemy rejoice and my friend grieve through my misfortune. Do not let a calamity befall my faith, and do not let my greatest concern be for this world. Do not let this world be the limit of my knowledge, and do not give power over me to anyone who will not be merciful to me. Oh my God, you know my states, both secret and apparent. Accept my plea. You know my deeds. Please grant what I ask. You know what is in my soul. Forgive my mistakes, because there is none to forgive but you. So the first portion of this is actually attributed to the Prophet Jesus, peace be, in Islamic tradition, according to the footnotes in the word here. So even Jesus was asking help of God. We shouldn't think that submission is just a life of acceptance without prayer. We have a right to ask the source of all blessing for protection, for guidance, for any true need. I was also, and always have been touched by a section in the Mevlevi. This is in Book 3, beginning with lines 1490. O you who make demands within me like an embryo, since you are the one who makes the demand, make it easy. Show the way, help me, or else relinquish your claim and take this burden from me. Since you are demanding gold from a debtor, give gold secretly, O rich king. Without you, how would poetry and song appear in the evening or in the morn? Poetry, all the music of language is at your command. Everything glorifies you, both the heedless and the aware. Each glorifies you in a different way, unaware of each other. So Mevlana uses this passage to lead into a discussion of how every religion, every human being in their own way is glorifying the divine, whether they know it or not. And we should recognize that in each other and not be judgmental. But in the beginning, O you who make demands within me like an embryo, since you are the one who makes the demand, make its fulfillment easy. Show the way, help me, or else relinquish your claim and take this burden from me. So Mevlana is comparing something. We have an embryo within us. In many traditions besides our own, it's spoken of the creation of soul, creation of some sustainable, viable, conscious part of ourselves, which does not even exist until we begin a certain work, a work to be sustained through our lives in order to give birth, this second birth it's sometimes called, to real soul, that which is capable of the true zikr, of taqwa, of true faith. Mevlana says, what is soul? Soul is conscious of good and evil, rejoicing over kindness, weeping over injury. And since consciousness is the inmost nature and essence of your soul, the more aware you are, the more spiritual you are. Awareness is the effect of the spirit. Anyone who has this abundance is a man or woman of God. So this brings us back again to the more we develop spiritually, the more sensitive we become. Sensitive both to the suffering of the world and also sensitive to the beauty and grace that is continually flowing, coming into our lives. Mevlana says, loving kindness drawn to the saint as medicine is drawn to the pain it must cure. Where there is pain, the remedy follows. Where the lowlands are, the water goes. If you want the water of mercy, make yourself low and drink the wine of mercy and be drunk. Mercy upon mercy rises to your head like a flood. Don't settle on a single mercy, my child. Bring the sky beneath your feet and listen to salute music everywhere. So the advice, that's from Book 2, 1938. low, or as the Quran says, bow down and draw near. This state of sensitivity that grows as our spiritual awareness grows. Make yourself low to know mercy. Have a low opinion of yourself. Means really surrender into that complete receptivity to the grace and to the acceptance of the pain you're feeling. Don't ever think that spiritual development is an escape from pain, but it is, you might say, creating a universe expansive enough to contain that pain and to give us a different perspective on it. So it is not the sum total of what we're experiencing. Another thing that pain and this awareness brings to us, and from my experience, from just observe carefully what's going on, is that there's always an intermingling. I just got a message that the internet connection is unstable. I'll continue. An intermingling of pain and aspiration. Intermingling of pain and aspiration. These two exist simultaneously. The more aware we are, we accept the pain. We put it in the perspective of knowing we are loved, of knowing that the divine grace is unending and infinite, and at the same time, in us longs to be closer to Hak. Something in us longs to fulfill our destiny as human beings. So, aspiration intermingled with pain, the joy of becoming more fully human. And as from the Mathnawi 22:19, Book 1, in the forest of spirit, be like a falcon. Venture your life in the hunt. Or give yourself away like the sun, the heavenly sun, ever diffusing life. It's replenished moment by moment. The sun's never exhausted. The sun of reality, which is in you, refreshes the old world. Soul and spirit penetrate humanity. Penetrate your humanity. From the unseen, like a gushing spring. So, dear friends, I wish you well, I wish us well, this intermingling of pain and aspiration, of awareness of everything that's going on in this world, all the uncertainties we face, the challenges and disappointments we face, as well as the pleasures and the beauties that are innumerable if only we are grateful and aware. I wish us well. Salam.
Thank you, dear. So, yes, the intermingling and that spring that's bubbling forth. Some words of Hazrat Shams came to share, begin with in this portion, and a reflection from Mevlana. A little section entitled Be of the Firmly Rooted from Rumi. where he's remembering dear Ayaz, the servant of the Sultan who came from humble, lowly beginnings and yet rose to be the companion, the close, intimate friend of the Sultan, the servant. Always service and always remembering those humble origins. Shams says, there are no shoes left like the shoes of Ayaz. No skin is left from the skin of he was made. All his pleas, his supplications became coquetries, conversations with the beloved, because he sensed the fragrance of the beloved, who is both subtle and beautiful. Her qualities are beyond skin and flesh. And then in this moment, he's calling out Eliadim, the son of Mevlana, who was somewhat in constriction, unlike his Walad, who was so much in the flowing with Shams and in the unity. So he's calling to Eliadim, saying, my heart wants to let me explain these words to you, this remembrance of Ayaz and of the beloved. Let me interpret them as I'm speaking with symbols and signs. So he speaks a little more openly, saying, there is one source of water. Though it separated into many streams, rivers, and canals, sometimes it flows one way and sometimes it flows another. Time comes when the water that flows along this way empties out the other way until it passes into its own channel. Sometimes the water that comes from that channel flows in this direction. Those who pass through the various ways to the source of the water drink from it, move into it, immerse in it, and get wet. Then they've been liberated from the branches, the root of their source. And, those who catch hold of a branch will break, but those who take hold of the trunk of a tree will gain all the branches. They are content with the abode of the beloved. And as I was revisiting these words of Hazrati Shams, it called to heart again some verses in the Quran that this one has been sitting with in working with the unfolding of Surah 3, Al-Imran, and reflecting on the meaning in the beginning of those foundational verses and the verses that are similar, and into the meaning with God, where one knows the meaning. Those who catch hold of a branch will break it and fall, but those who take hold of the trunk of the tree will gain all the branches, all the spirit, for they are content with the abode. It continues, others eat and drink. They pass beyond intellect and reasoning, but still can find a way to that abode. How could it be that those who have a great capacity for reasoning and a strong intellect would want everyone else to have such a strong intellect and capacity? A philosopher says he's speaking in accordance with intellect and reason, yet he has no knowledge about the divine intellect. And here's a little story where after a gap, after 12 years, someone saw the prophet again in his dream. May peace and blessings be upon him. And said, O messenger of God, why haven't you come? Every Thursday night you used to show yourself to me. Then you left me like a fish without water. Prophet responded, I was occupied with grieving. Grieving, I asked the messenger of God. Grieving for my own community, my ummah. During 12 years, only 7 people have turned their faces to the true Qibla and come approaching me. All the rest have turned away. Now there's a hidden meaning in these words, says Shams. And he quotes exactly that passage from Surah Al-Imran at the end of that paragraph of that ayah. This is a clear example. None but God and the firmly rooted know me. So, coming close to the trunk of the tree and to the root of the root of the root. And Mevlana's reflection echoes somewhat. And he says, who could ever describe the ways of the one who is like no other? The thing I could say is only an attempt at what might be needed now. Sometimes God's movement appears one way, sometimes as its opposite. The work of real religion is bewilderment, not a bewilderment that drives you away from him, her. No, but bewildered like this, drowned and drunk with the beloved. One person's face is turned towards the beloved in awe. Another only faces himself, herself. Gaze upon each person's face. Pay attention. Perhaps through service, you might come to know the face of the beloved. And in a moment, a little further on in Book 1 of the Mevlevi, he says, how many a generous rain has poured so that the sea could scatter pearls. How many a sun of blessing has shone so that clouds and seas might learn generosity. The sunbeams of wisdom struck the soil so that earth might receive seed. The soil is faithful to its trust. Whatever you sow, you reap. And this brings to heart another verse from Surah Imran 92 that says, never will you attain righteousness. And the word there is from al-bar, the goodness, until you give of what you most love. So when we participate in that flowing of, and surely whatever you spend, God knows, we're intrinsically connected with that source of love. And learn that faithfulness from the faithful one. As Mevlana says, the sun of justice has shone upon it. Until springtime brings the touch of God, the earth doesn't reveal her secrets. That moment of resurrection. And until then, vein by vein, the sweet water and the bitter water are both flowing within us, even as it's reflecting. And as we move into that good, into the al-bar, our inheritance, Mevlana says, is that sweet water. What is that inheritance? He quotes, we have caused those of our servants who have chosen to inherit the book, that unfolding messages of love continually pouring into splendor from the heart of reality. he reflects that all our supplications are like rays from that source and through the substance of prophethood. Even as the sun is circling around the house and the rays move from room to room. And if we are born with the sign of Venus, our inclination may be towards love and joy, or if we're born under the sign of Mars, perhaps more towards contention that awakens some of that bitterness. And yet there are stars in other heavens, not these seven heavens, stars immersed in the radiance of the light of God, neither joined to each other nor separate from each other. The dominant light of the saints are secure from defect and dimness, held between fingers of the light of God. And God has scattered that light over all spirits, all souls. But the fortunate hold up their skirts to receive it. Even as the semizens swirling with the skirts flying to catch the just of light of love pouring into this world. And as the faces of the particulars turn towards the universal, nightingales play the game of love with the rose. Ox may bear his colors on the outside, the human his colors within. Seek within the human being that light of red and yellow hue. The beneficent colors are from the dying vat of purity. The darker colors, with the affliction of God we may feel heavy, and yet it carries towards purification, towards transformation, and immersing in the dying vat of who is the name of that subtle color of purity. That which is of the sea is returning, going towards the sea, going to the same place from which it came. And as with Surah Al-Ma'idah, the feast, he loves them and they love him. Poured out by love, we return to love. As Mevlana says, from the mountaintop, the swift rushing currents, and from our body, the soul, whose motion is mingled with love. So may we count that source that shines forever, that pours over and over again, an infinite nourishment and support, returning with and to love. Ya Wadud, Ya Kareem, Ya Nur, Ala Nur.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. I need to get a bendir,
Yes.
please. One second. Al-Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Hahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim. Ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amen. As long as we are in this world, none of us is free of faults, mistakes, and sins. May we be forgiven and may we be forgiving. Bismillah. Astaghfirullah. 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 Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Everything in existence is the manifestation of a single source of life and being. We say these words, La ilaha illallah, to remind us of the oneness of being and to remind us not to make idols of our ego's whims and desires. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. And God answers all calls made in sincerity and truth. Yeah. Allah, Allah, Allah,
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Waduha walilita sacha mawarabuka wamakala walala kira khairulaka minaluna wala tafayutika rabuka fatarda alam jirka yatiman fa'awa ووجدك هذا ووجدك عينا فأغنى فما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السعيد فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العظيم.
We give thanks for the light under which we gather, for our peer Hazrati Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi, and for the generations of seekers and guides that have come before us, and for all those who have been our teachers.
Amen.
We pray for the health and well-being of everyone in this, for our families, our children, our children's children, future generations, our communities, and our planet. And we mention at this time anyone in need of prayer or healing. And may Almighty God make our intention awareness sound and bring us in readiness to the center of true beginning. And may the light of this circle be received wherever it's needed. By the breath of Mevlana, by the secret of Shamsi, by the nobility of Imam Ali, the blessing of Muhammad Mustafa, mercy to the worlds. Let us say who. Viva.